All right, Derby fans, we are getting ready to get back to the action here before too much longer. We will have team intros for the second bout in about 5 or 6 minutes, and then we will get underway with our second bout of the evening, the final regular season bout for season 14 here at the Hall of Dames. And we'll be back with you just momentarily with team intros once safety checks and all those other good things are taken care of before the bout. And Derby fans, we wanted to make a very special announcement this evening. A very special person is having a birthday tomorrow. We wanted to wish a very happy birthday to number 803, the Panda Face Killer. Indeedly do, the Panda Face Killer is enjoying a happy birthday tomorrow. With much love from Mama Panda. All right, fans, really quick before we get into the next bout, we wanted to announce the end of bout raffle prize from the last bout has not been claimed yet. So we wanted to announce it one more time here, give you a chance to pull out those raffle tickets and take a look. 518156. You are the winner of a 4-pack of tickets to the Maricopa County Fair. All right, Derby fans, we're just about ready to get underway with the action here. We'll be getting underway with safety checks here just momentarily. Once safety checks are all done and taken care of, we will get underway with team intros. One more time, just some safety information here at the Hall of Names as we have the crowd from the first bout departing and the crowd for the second bout arriving. Don't forget, if you're not part of the bout production crew, please stay behind that yellow line at all times during game action. That is a good way to catch a skate to the back of the head to be standing around inside that zone, and when you're not wearing a helmet, that hurts. So make sure you stay behind that yellow line at all times. And don't forget also, for the indoor bathroom, skaters take priority. They get to jump the line. We do have 2 genuinely clean outdoor bathrooms outside. And I'm bathroom persnickety, and I approve them, so you probably will too. Safety checks are underway here on the infield. Our regulators making sure everybody's helmets are buckled, mouthpiece in place, and what have you, and then we'll get underway with team intros. All right. Welcome back, Phoenix. If you couldn't tell by the change in the tone of my voice, it is time for roller derby action. Are you ready? One more time, because the crowd that was here for the first bout was pretty loud, and I know a lot of you are the same people, so you guys saw it too. Are you ready for some roller derby action? I'm Old Greg. This is Arizona's only live bank track roller derby here at the Hall of Dames.
And I am Becca Recker. You might remember me from serenading you earlier tonight. Nice to see you again. I will be here announcing with Old Greg. We're going to get things going for you.
Let's get things started with your first team. It's the Bombshells.
So do I just start calling it out, basically?
Wait for them to come by and slap hands.
Oh, yes.
And then they'll kind of accordion as soon as.
Skating tonight for the Bombshells, we've got number 6, Anakin Shittalker. Number 817, Bitch Please. Number 750, Bodily Harm. Number 1024, that's Brawler Bunny. We've got 44 Magnum, Dirty Cari. Number 60, Gwen Coco. Number 42, Irish Car Bomb. Number 427, Lieutenant Ripley. Number 1931, Mickey Mental. Number 777, Ruff Ryder. Number 626, Remy Ruckus. Your co-captain is number 22, Impaler Swift. And your captain, number 55, Skid Vicious. Helping the team on the bench tonight are going to be bench coach Deadly Limbs, penalty manager Mimi Mauler, and not skating tonight for the Bombshells, we've got number 24K Gold Digger and 2-22 Scarlet Knockout.
Now taking the track, it's the Schoolyard Scrappers. Skating tonight for the Scrappers, number 918, Ballistic Buffalo. Number 1212, Bonnie Banshee. Number 1235, Bob Vylan. Number 0-60, Carla Dang. Number 1984, Cruisin' for a Bruisin'. Number 724, Dolly Spartan. Number 31, Felony Storm. Number 144, Ivy Overdose. Number 68, Juicy Kiltour. Number 5, Maiden Asia. Number 172, Peek Atchu. Number 1976, Striker Down. Number 241, WhoreChata. Number 34, your co-captain, Pretty Hurt Machine. And number 669, your captain of the Schoolyard Scrappers, Nikki BadAzz. Helping the team on the bench tonight, our bench coach, Bobby Ross, and penalty manager, Hate Ya Face, not skating tonight for the Schoolyard Scrappers, number OMG, Killin' May Smalls. We are ready to go with our first jam of this bout. Stepping up to the jammer line for the Scrappers is Dolly Spartan.
That's Bitch Please for the Bombshells. Both jammers still stuck in the pack, trying to sneak by on the low side, and both of them getting hit to the infield.
Pack makes their way down along the back straightaway. Now some action along the center. You see that pivot coming through, trying to clear some space. And around the outside goes Dolly Spartan, and she's your lead jammer for the Schoolyard Scrappers.
Bitch Please still stuck on her initial, just barely making it past the Scrappers blockers in the front there, coming around.
Dolly Spartan now weaves her way through the pack, gets some help from her blockers, picks up her points, and calls it off. Stepping up to the jammer line now for the Schoolyard Scrappers is Felony Storm, number 31.
And Anakin Shittalker for the Bombshells.
Both jammers now trying to find their way to the front of the pack. Quickly now, there goes Anakin Shittalker. Felony Storm right behind her. Anakin Shittalker is your lead jammer for the Bombshells. Felony Storm out right behind, though, and is going to try to force the issue here.
We've got two really fast jammers out here on the track. Let's see if Storm can catch up. And she is not quite able to catch up before Anakin calls that jam off, preventing anyone from scoring any points in that jam.
A lot of moving parts there, too. I mean, you saw the jammers trying to catch up, but then the blockers also trying to keep the pack away also. So a lot of that for no points on the jammer line for the Bombshells is going to be Skid Vicious.
And on the jammer line for the Schoolyard Scrappers, we've got Nikki BadAzz. We've actually got two captains out there jamming for their respective teams, with Nikki BadAzz making it through the Bombshells with a little jump over the coping there. She's coming around fast to score points for her team, whereas Skid Vicious just barely making it out of the pack. Now she's coming around. Nikki has made it up to the pack, shouting instructions to her team. She is able to pick up some points, most likely there, before calling that jam off and preventing Skid from getting around.
4 more points up on the board for the Schoolyard Scrappers. They're going to send Pretty Hurt Machine to the jammer line.
And that's Dirty Cari for the Bombshells.
Jam quickly underway now. Pretty Hurt Machine dumped off onto the infield. Dirty Cari escorted down there as well. Pretty Hurt Machine now finds an opening along the inside, and she's your lead jammer for the Schoolyard Scrappers.
Dirty Cari still stuck behind some powerful Scrappers defense there, with the Scrappers recycling around and around to keep her, but Dirty Cari manages to make it out. We've got Pretty Hurt Machine who's just made it through and calls that jam off.
4 more points up on the board for the Schoolyard Scrappers. Bombshells still looking for their first scoring opportunity here this evening. up to the jammer line for the Schoolyard Scrappers. That is Ballistic Buffalo.
We've got Captain Skid Vicious coming to the line again for the Bombshells.
Both jammers waiting for an opening, and then they both took off at the same time. Ballistic Buffalo down to the inside. Out and clear, lead jammer for the Scrappers. Scrappers defense up in the front of the pack. Skid Vicious trying to find an opening, pushing along the inside, and she manages to sneak along and get by Bob Vylan at the apex of the turn. Ballistic Buffalo finishes off a scoring pass and calls it off. Four more up on the board for the Schoolyard Scrappers. Juicy Kiltour up to the jammer line for the Scrappers.
And Anakin Shittalker for the Bombshells. Looks like in the last jam we had two Bombshells getting penalties, so the Bombshells will be skating a little bit short this jam.
And you can see right there, Juicy Kiltour able to take advantage of an opening along the rail. Juicy Kiltour out and clear for the Scrappers.
Anakin Shittalker is still struggling while Juicy Kiltour is coming on by for points and sneaks by on the inside there. Anakin Shittalker working on the high side, getting by some blockers, and she is finally out of that pack. Here comes Juicy Kiltour looking at another scoring pass.
Juicy Kiltour comes out of the corner like a guided missile, finds an opening there in the defensive wall and able to finish that scoring pass. 9 points on the board for the Scrappers that time. Scrappers have opened up an early 25-0 lead. It's going to be Dolly Spartan at the jammer line for the Scrappers.
And Bitch Please back to the line for the Bombshells.
Hey, did you guys hear that Luna's here? Before we move on, we are going to have a timeout. Looks like an official timeout. Regulators are going to, yeah, there we are. Got a meeting with the outside pack referee here in the far turn. So the regulators going to sort some penalties out here, which is going to give us a second to talk about some of our sponsors and other things. Don't forget, we do have popcorn for sale. The Minor Assaults are selling popcorn down there just outside of turn number 2. $1 a bag for delicious, tasty, hot popcorn. We've got our AZDD snack bar available as well inside here for some snacks, cracker packs, peanut butter crackers. Everybody loves peanut butter crackers unless you're allergic to peanuts. And sodas and whatnot and what have you. All right, we are back to the action. Everything's sorted out. All the penalties are accounted for. Dolly Spartan to the jammer line for the Scrappers.
And Bitch Please for the Bombshells. Both jammers struggling to get through the pack. Bitch Please and Dolly Spartan both finding a hole on the inside. And Bitch Please is forced to call that jam off before surrendering lead jammer to Dolly Spartan.
So we will set up for the next jam, and that's going to be Felony Storm for the Schoolyard Scrappers.
And Anakin back on the line for the Bombshells.
Both jammers going high-low, trying to find an opening. Felony Storm finally able to get those last two blockers pushed out of play, and she's your lead jammer for the Scrappers.
Anakin Shittalker fighting hard at the front of the pack there, and she manages to make it by on the high side, just pushing and pushing till she got through there, and here comes Felony Storm.
Felony Storm finishes that scoring pass and calls off the jam. So far, we're halfway through the first quarter. We've had a lot of 4-point jams for the Scrappers, but they have kept the Bombshells off the board, so They are putting points on the board in a very steady and consistent fashion so far. They're going to send Nikki BadAzz up to the jammer line.
And the Bombshells are going to see if they can change that with sending their captain Skid Vicious out to jam. Skid Vicious making it past all the Scrappers blockers, but she's got Nikki BadAzz not far behind her. So unfortunately, unable to capitalize on that. Has to call that jam off because she doesn't want to surrender any points to the Scrappers. We've got Dirty Cari coming to the line to jam for the Bombshells.
And it's going to be Pretty Hurt Machine for the Schoolyard Scrappers. Pretty Hurt Machine able to find an opening right along the middle of the pack. Gets through that defensive wall, and she's your lead jammer for the Scrappers.
And Dirty Cari with a little jump there is able to make it by on the low.
Pretty Hurt Machine finishing off that scoring pass, navigates her way through the pack, calls it off. 4 more points on the board for the Scrappers. It's Ballistic Buffalo heading up to the jammer line for the Scrappers now.
And Bitch Please coming back up here to represent the Bombshells.
And with the struggle, Ballistic Buffalo up to the front of the pack. Big collision up there, manages to get past that last blocker for the Bombshells. Both blockers taking a tumble there, and Ballistic Buffalo able to get clear.
Bitch Please still not out of the pack. She is struggling with the strong defense being played by the Schoolyard Scrappers.
Ballistic Buffalo able to get those blockers pushed well out of play, so they're stranded out there in no man's land.
Ballistic Buffalo just swooping right on through there for another scoring pass.
Bitch Please still hemmed in behind that wall of 3 defenders for the Scrappers and not able to get clear. Now able to tiptoe her way along the inside and take advantage of the blockers momentarily turning their attention to the oncoming Ballistic Buffalo.
Lots of skaters taking a tumble there at the end of that jam. Everybody's back up, ready to keep going. We've got Anakin Shittalker gonna jam for the Bombshells. And that's Juicy Kill Tour for the Scrappers.
Once again, Derby fans, please, for the safety of patrons and everybody around you, if you are not part of the bout production crew, make sure you're behind that yellow line around the track at all times. We need you to make sure you stay behind that yellow line during game action. Thank you.
So folks, just to reiterate that real quickly, if you are standing by the edge of the track, we need you to back away to the yellow line so you don't get accidentally hit in the face or anything like that. We want you to be safe out there. We really appreciate you observing that. Got Juicy Kill Tour coming through for her points. Calling off that jam before Anakin can get any points for the Bombshells.
We are ready to go, and this next jam underway. Both jammers fighting their way through. Down to the inside goes Skid Vicious. And breaking through mid-pack and racing to the front for the Schoolyard Scrappers is Dolly Spartan. Skid Vicious out right behind is going to try to make things interesting here with Dolly Spartan approaching the pack.
See Dolly Spartan giving some commands to her fellow skaters to help her out and then calls the jam off at a moment that is the most strategic for her team. We've got Dirty Cari ready to jam for the Bombshells.
For the Schoolyard Scrappers, that's Felony Storm. Couple of blockers jostling for position there in the blocker box. One more blocker called down. Referee's getting everything all squared away here. There we go. Felony Storm quickly to the front of the pack, and she's right through and is your lead jammer for the Scrappers.
Got Dirty Cari being taken to the infield by Pretty Hurt Machine. And then the Scrappers building a strong defensive wall there, still keeping Dirty Cari in. Felony Storm's able to sneak by there and pick up some more points and keep going for her team. Dirty Cari is finally out and chasing Felony Storm down.
Felony Storm now is going to try to get back to the pack and pick up a few more points before calling it off if she can. Gets up, navigates her way through and calls it off. Stepping up to the jammer line now, it's going to be Nikki BadAzz for the Scrappers.
And Skid Vicious for the Bombshells.
Nikki BadAzz finds an opening along the inside. Had two blockers down there that just opened it up for her. Able to get right through.
Skid Vicious with taking a shoulder check from Dolly Spartan, but keeping on going, and she is coming around and unable to get any points before Nikki BadAzz calls that jam off.
Scrappers are going to send Juicy Kiltour up to the jammer line now.
With the Bombshells sending Anakin Shittalker.
And bump down to the inside. Sliding down to the inside is your jammer for the Scrappers, your lead jammer for the Scrappers, Nikki BadAzz.
Anakin is being...
Juicy Kiltour, excuse me.
Yep. Anakin is being held back by the strong Scrappers defense, including some pretty fantastic hits by one of the Scrappers' newest skaters, Bonnie Banshee, who is out there really holding it down. We've got Juicy Kiltour coming back around for more points while Anakin is still being held by that Scrappers defense.
The pack makes their way at a glacial pace up into the far turn now. Anakin still pinned up along that rail, but able to spin around a defender and gets clear of the pack. Just at the same time as Juicy Kiltour encounters her first real defensive struggle of this jam. Defender hits the track surface. Juicy Kiltour goes ahead and calls it off with Anakin coming around.
The Bombshells doing a great job building a defensive wall at the end of that jam to keep Juicy Kiltour and allowing their jammer to come around and put some pressure on Juicy. Now we've got Bitch Please jamming for the Bombshells.
And that's Ballistic Buffalo for the Scrappers.
Bitch Please almost able to get by on the low there, but being taken out by number 241, WhoreChata. And Buffalo makes it by on the low. She is out lead jammer for the Scrappers.
Ballistic Buffalo now bumped to the infield, briefly takes a knee, gets up and back, trying to fight her way through the pack, routed off onto the infield again by the defense.
Bitch Please able to sneak around Nikki BadAzz, which is no easy feat. We've got Buffalo trying to get Bitch Please's point, manages to make it by her, snags that point before calling off the jam.
So we will line up for what will be the last jam of the first quarter. And on the jammer line for the Schoolyard Scrappers is going to be Pretty Hurt Machine.
That's Dirty Cari for the Bombshells.
And emerging from the pack, Pretty Hurt Machine is out and clear and is your lead jammer for the Schoolyard Scrappers.
Dirty Cari still fighting there, being held back by Felony Storm, Juicy Kiltour, and the rest of the Scrappers defense.
Sneaking along the inside, Pretty Hurt Machine finishes the scoring pass halfway through the jam clock on this jam. Dirty Cari spun off onto the infield one more time, trying to find any opening she can. Bumped onto the infield one more time by super defender Maiden Asia. Pretty Hurt Machine finishing off another scoring pass, 15 seconds left on the jam clock.
Dirty Cari nearly making it by on the inside, but knocked to the infield by Juicy Kiltour, and so she is still stuck. And just as I say that, she is out of the pack, and Pretty Hurt Machine comes by for one more pass and calls the jam off.
And that is going to take us up to our first quarter break. We'll wait for the official score to come in there for that last jam before we give you a score update. Meanwhile, we've got a merchandise toss coming on around. Let them hear it. You want to pick up some free swag. And look at that. Oh, we got a lucky fan right down here. Smallest fan, I think. Is she wearing a Lightning McQueen jersey? That's beautiful. Oh, a little fan right down here got a free t-shirt. That's pretty cool. I can't quite make it out. I think she's wearing a number 97 t-shirt. That's great. So stepping aside to the quarter break as soon as we announce our quarter break raffle prize. Your raffle prize right now, it's a free 60-minute massage. Ooh. Number 211763. 211763. The winning ticket for a 60-minute massage. Coming up and claim that right up here at the raffle prize table. All right, fans, we're just about ready to get back to the action. We wanted to let you know one more time, you can join in on the punch contest by AZDD Inspire. It is a big wall. It's got those tissue paper cubby holes on it. You punch through and you get the prize inside. Today's prizes include gift cards, car washes, Derby Dames items, Cardinals merch, mini golf, Natural History Museum. The grand prize is a Caribbean vacation. One punch for $20. Come on down. Take your luck at the prize wall. Proceeds benefit AZDD Inspire. Right down there by the popcorn machine. Follow your nose. We're underway here with the first jam of the second quarter.
We've got Mimi Mauler for the Bombshells charging through the Scrappers blockers, and she is out and running for her life because she's got Dolly Spartan right behind her.
Dolly Spartan trying to close the gap. Mimi Mauler's going to try to put some points on the board here. Runs up into the pack, and we've got a lead change. Dolly Spartan has taken over as lead jammer. Mimi Mauler run out to the outside by the defense. Dolly Spartan not having any luck getting through the pack either. Now spun down to the infield. Mimi Mauler also not through. Dolly Spartan goes ahead, gets back up on the track, and calls it off. So 2 points on the board for the Bombshells. Bombshells putting up 2. Scrappers get 4 points during the jam.
Let's hear it for the Bombshells putting their first points on the board, you guys. All right, we got Anakin Shittalker for the Bombshells, hopefully going to put some more points up there.
Felony Storm out there for the Schoolyard Scrappers. Just getting bumped off of the infield, but gets back up on the track, able to kind of fake out that last defender and zigzag through him. Now all the defenders kind of tied in there trying to get the Bombshells jammer loose, and they do.
Oh, the Bombshells have accomplished a panty pass with Dirty Cari being super excited about that fact. Anakin was able to successfully pass the jammer star from her helmet over to the pivot, which is the skater with the stripe on their helmet. That is the only person the jammer can pass the star to, and then that person becomes the jammer and is able to score points. So that's what happened in that last jam, so that was pretty fun.
We've got Nikki BadAzz on the jammer line for the Scrappers.
And Bitch Please for the Bombshells. Ooh, Bitch Please able to cling to that coping, even though she was, somebody tried to take her out with a hip, but she said nope. She is coming around for the Bombshells, coming around with speed. Nikki BadAzz now out for the Scrappers, while Bitch Please tries to make these points. And she gets what she can, and she calls it right off.
Big collision up here. It looks like everybody's going to get up and get back to the bench under their own power. A couple of the Schoolyard Scrappers defenders, Bob Vylan and Dolly Spartan, came together. And it looks like we are going to get a team timeout. Bombshells are going to call timeout right here and stop the clock. So, team timeout for the Bombshells. We are going to step aside from the action just briefly. And it'll give us a chance to talk about some of our league sponsors, such as Devastation. They're your go-to shop for everything on wheels. From the raddest of rad roller skates to the bomb.com light-up wheels, spin it on slicker than slick ball bearings. Let Devastation help you find the perfect riding gear to keep you protected while you're cruising. Offering nearly everything skate-related, from nuts and stops to tools and bags on flashy wheels. Come check out the skate ninjas that are slinging them unicorn boots. Visit them at devastation.com or stop by their warehouse at 2010 East University in Tempe.
One of my teammates just bought some light-up wheels. I think it was from them the other day, and let me tell you, those are pretty cool. So if you're looking for some light-up wheels for your skates, go to Devastation and get you some of those. Looks like whenever we start the next jam, we will have one blocker each from each team sitting in the blocker box. So a little bit of a short pack out there. And in fact, we also have the jammer from the Bombshells picking up a penalty there. So we do have a power jam for the Schoolyard Scrappers with Juicy Kill Tour out there to skate that power jam for the Scrappers. Juicy taking a good hit to the infield, hit by Dirty Cari. She goes for the high side, tries to make it out, and is held back by Skid and Cari in the front.
And Juicy able to find an opening along the inside of the turn and race to the front of the pack, so she's out and clear. We're halfway through this power jam for the Schoolyard Scrappers. again, trying to find an opening. Juicy Kill Tour.
Bombshells doing a really good job keeping together and keeping strong walls together to prevent Juicy from finding a way out. But Juicy's a great jammer. She manages to find a hole and sneaks on through.
Gets by and finishes a scoring pass, but they did eat up a whole lot of the clock. So pretty good defensive effort there by the Bombshells. Absolutely. If you're able to keep a power jam within the single digits, you're doing okay on defense.
Good job, Bombshells. Holding it down.
And now we do have a power jam for the Bombshells. Penalty called on Juicy Kill Tour during that power jam, so the power jam pendulum swings back the other way, and Anakin Shittalker stands on the jammer line. Quickly bumped off to the infield by WhoreChata, now trying to find her way through. Anakin Shittalker, league rookie this year, also made it onto the hot shots.
And you can see why as she jukes and jumps around. But still, even so, the Scrappers have just so much strong defense on their side, and they are holding a strong wall in the front.
We're about halfway through the power jam clock here. Anakin also dealing with the fact that they're down a blocker, so they have a blocker missing from the pack. So the Schoolyard Scrappers do have a one skater advantage in the pack, which is letting them really get that defense together and keep those other Bombshells pinned in and not able to form a pack. 4 seconds to go on the clock. And that is going to do it for the power jam. No points scored. Excellent power jam defense by the Schoolyard Scrappers. Pretty Hurt Machine is going to step to the jammer line for the Scrappers now.
And that's Bitch Please for the Bombshells. Hurt just blasting off there, manages to get around Skid Vicious on the high. Here she comes, ready to score more points.
Finishes the scoring pass, gets by that last blocker there. Both pivots kind of stuck out there in the maroon zone.
Bitch Please still fighting with the Scrappers defense. She was hit hard to the inside by Bonnie Banshee, and she is still being held by Banshee and by number 1976. Maiden Asia also out there blocking an Ivy Overdose.
And now springing loose along the inside, there goes your Bombshells jammer, but that's going to do it for the jam before we get too much further into that. 15 points on the board for the Schoolyard Scrappers during the jam.
Looks like the Bombshells jammer did pick up a penalty in that last jam, so she'll be sitting for this jam, and it will be the Scrappers that have a power jam, and they're sending out Ballistic Buffalo to skate that power jam for them.
Ballistic Buffalo trying to hold on to that coping along the inside of the track, but the skater that blocked her off also ended up in the infield, so they gave her the wave around, and she is on through. So now approaching the pack, Schoolyard Scrappers look like they are going to try to control the pace of play here. But the pack comes together, and they're able to hold her up. They're Ballistic Buffalo now up to the front. Now the pack kind of builds up a little bit of speed trying to get moving.
Bombshell's doing a great job preventing Ballistic Buffalo from making more scoring passes. Skid and Impaler Swift at the front there with Mickey Mental and Dirty Cari also just, you know, throwing some great hits out there. Ballistic Buffalo is coming back around for more points, but the jam clock expires. So that's the end of that jam. Once again, it looks like the Bombshells were able to hold the Schoolyard Scrappers to only 5 points. So that's pretty good for a power jam.
So now Felony Storm out there to jam for the Scrappers.
And Mickey Mental for the Bombshells.
Felony Storm bumped hard there, approaching the pack, knocked off her skates. Mickey Mental up in the middle of the pack, but Felony Storm uses that advantage uses that tumble to her advantage, I should say, able to find an opening along the outside and picked up a bunch of momentum. She's your lead jammer for the Scrappers. Finishes a scoring pass, does Felony Storm.
Got Mickey Mental fighting against the Scrappers defense. Striker down, delivering her to the infield a minute ago. But Mickey Mental is now able to scoot farther to the front of the pack, but is taken out by Maiden Asia. Mickey Mental able to make it out of that pack. She is coming around, but the jam is over at this point.
Stepping up to the jammer line is going to be Dolly Spartan for the Scrappers.
And Anakin Shittalker for the Bombshells, with the Bombshells skating a little bit short this jam. 2 blockers receiving directional block penalties, which means that they blocked either going backwards or going kind of straight up and down the track rather than forwards, which is the direction we need to skate for safety, really. Anakin is held back by the Schoolyard Scrappers, but we have Dolly Spartan for the Scrappers, out lead jammer, juking her way right by there on another scoring pass, picking up some points for her team.
You can see the Scrappers do have a couple skater advantage there in the pack, and they're able to play this almost like a power jam, forming a wall there and not letting the pack move at all. Anakin trying to find a way through, but gets dumped down on her back down towards the infield. Dolly Spartan able to leap over a defender and clear the pack, trying to come around for some more points with 10 seconds on the jam clock. Anakin gets out of the pack. Dolly Spartan knocked off her skates trying to get through for a scoring pass and calls off the rest of the jam.
Got Bitch Please coming back up to jam for the Bombshells.
And it's going to be Pretty Hurt Machine for the Schoolyard Scrappers. All right. Got the score up and reported from the infield. Now we're ready to get underway. 18 points on the board for the Scrappers during that jam.
The teams tend to get a little annoyed if you don't give them their points.
Yeah, you know.
We like to get our points. We like having points. We like
It's a
getting points. That's
thing.
why we're here playing roller derby.
Sort
And
of
with
what we're
that
here
said,
for.
Pretty Hurt Machine trying to get some points right now as she gets out lead for the Scrappers. Bitch Please still studying, or not studying, struggling rather, with Maiden Asia and Striker down. I mean, you can study from them too. We've got a lot of strong skaters in this league you can study from. Pretty Hurt Machine making another scoring pass.
Pretty Hurt Machine now trying to catch the pack. The pack trying to keep away. Pretty Hurt Machine up mid-pack as Bitch Please makes it out of the pack, and that's going to do it for the jam. Fans, important announcement really quick. Hey, another safety announcement. Please, no whistling. No whistling during game action. It can be mistaken for a jam whistle and cause people to stop on the track and get run over, and we don't want that to happen. So please, no whistling during game action. Thank you. Your regulators appreciate it.
If you want to whistle during game time, we would love it if you would volunteer to be one of our referees. The regulators are one of our most beloved teams here in the league. And if you would like to be whistling during game time, please join the regulators.
Jamming now is Nikki BadAzz for the Scrappers.
And Dirty Cari taking a hard hit from WhoreChata right off the line there. Dirty Cari juking high, juking low, trying to get past Dolly Spartan and WhoreChata, with Nikki BadAzz managing to break it out in the front of the pack. Your captain for the Scrappers coming around to get some points.
And Nikki BadAzz winds her way around the pack, had some help from her blockers there, gets by unscathed on a scoring pass. 26 seconds to go here on the jam clock. And Nikki BadAzz finishes a scoring pass, gets on through.
And Dirty Cari was nearly out of the pack as well, but received a really strong shoulder check from Dolly Spartan. And unfortunately, the same thing has happened again. Really hard hit from Dolly Spartan. She'll do that to you. So Dirty Cari is still struggling with the back of that pack. And that's the end of that jam.
Nikki BadAzz was mid-pack, so we'll wait for the official score to come up here. As we have about a minute and a half until halftime. 13 points on the board for the Scrappers there.
I am seeing Remy Ruckus coming to the jammer line tonight for the first time for the Bombshells. Let's hear it for Remy Ruckus. And we've got Juicy Kill Tour out there for the Schoolyard Scrappers. Remy is one of our newer skaters in the league. This was her first season, and she's doing a fantastic job. And we do see Juicy Kill Tour making it out lead jammer for the Scrappers, with Remy Ruckus breaking out of the pack just in the straightaway there. She is coming around fast.
So Remy Ruckus going to force the issue here and try to limit Nikki BadAzz to one scoring pass. Juicy Kill Tour, that is. Up to the front of the pack she goes, runs into a defensive wall, and that's going to do it for that jam. So good job by Remy Ruckus fighting through the pack to force the issue there. Up to the jammer line for the Scrappers this time is going to be Ballistic Buffalo.
And we're used to seeing her now. Anakin Shittalker for the Bombshells.
Ballistic Buffalo down to the inside, bumped onto the infield by Mickey Mental.
And Anakin's able to get out lead jammer for the Bombshells. She is coming by fast. We've got Ballistic Buffalo out for the Scrappers trying to put the pressure on, but Anakin is a fast skater. Let's see what Anakin can do with this time she's got. She's got an advantage here. And she is forced to call off that jam with Ballistic Buffalo coming on so fast on her tail.
All right, that is going to take us up to the halftime break. Game executioner Chosen Wan up onto the track, calling off the halftime break. So we'll step aside for a 15-minute halftime break, and we're going to give away some more raffle prizes here right this second. We were going to give away 2 raffle prizes. First up, we have some Arizona Diamondbacks tickets. So tickets to the D-backs, just starting their season this weekend. 211-848. 211-848 for Diamondbacks tickets. And our second prize we're giving away here at halftime is 4 more tickets to the Maricopa County Fair. 518-175. 518-175. Those are your prizes. Coming up here to the raffle prize table just outside the far turn at the head of the front straightaway.
And our 50-50 raffle is currently at $420, y'all. So if you want to walk out of here with some cash in your hand, make sure you're buying some tickets for the 50-50 raffle, which is currently at $420 or $420. If you haven't gone by yet to buy some popcorn from the Minor Assaults and participate in their punch contest, so basically, if you're hungry or in the mood to punch something and win some awesome prizes, you could go over there and get yourself some gift cards, wash for your car, which I don't know about you, but my car is dirty, so I need a car wash. Some Arizona Derby Dames merchandise, some Cardinals merchandise. There's a trip to mini golf and the Arizona Natural History Museum. So walk yourself on over to the Minor Assaults, get yourself a little bag of popcorn, and punch a little thing in the wall there, and then you could win yourself a fantastic prize. So 1 punch for $20. Get on over there and support our youngest skaters in the league.
Hey, look at that. It's the merchandise crew. They're headed on through. They've got some merchandise to give away. Right there along the back straightaway. See down to the first turn. Now going to come up towards this away. She's looking. Hey, look at that. Somebody got it right up there against the against that sign. Congratulations. Hey fans, as we get ready to come back from the halftime break, we wanted to let you know one more time our latest giveaway of the 4-pack of tickets to the Maricopa County Fair has not yet been claimed. So we're going to announce that winning ticket number one more time in case the lucky winner scooted directly to the bathroom at halftime or something. 518-175. 518-175. Lucky winner of a 4-pack of tickets to the Maricopa County Fair. We will give that prize away again at the end of the third quarter if it remains unclaimed. We are ready to get back to the action. Here we are at the beginning of the third quarter. Stepping into the jammer line for the Schoolyard Scrappers is Dolly Spartan.
And that is Lieutenant Ripley coming to the jammer line for the Bombshells for the first time tonight. Lieutenant Ripley taken to the infield. I believe that was by Dolly Spartan. And we've got both jammers still struggling to find a way through the pack. And Lieutenant Ripley finds her way out on the low. She's lead jammer for the Bombshells. First time coming to jam for the Bombshells tonight, and she's out lead jammer. Dolly Spartan's coming around fast, though.
Lieutenant Ripley up into the pack, trying to get through as many skaters as she can before calling off the jam.
And while I have a moment, I just want to give a brief shout out to the large group of gentlemen who let me cut in line to get to the restroom ahead of them so that I could get back to announcing. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We got Anakin Shittalker on the line for the Bombshells.
And that's Felony Storm for the Schoolyard Scrappers. 3 points up on the board for the Bombshells there to kick things off here in the second half. Felony Storm is out and clearing as your lead jammer. Anakin out of the pack as well and is going to try to chase her down. And right up into the pack goes Felony Storm. Tries to call it off before Anakin hits the back. Oh, and Anakin gets 3 points on the back end of that. Anakin able to blast through and pick up some points on the back end of the jam there. Puts 3 points up for the Bombshells in addition to the 2 for Felony Storm. Points for both sides there, and that is going to be number 1212.
That is Bonnie Banshee coming to the line for the first time for the Schoolyard Scrappers tonight.
Going up against Skid Vicious for the Bombshells, and Bonnie Banshee able to emerge out the front of the pack and is your lead jammer.
Bonnie Banshee might be new to the Scrappers, but she is not new to sports. She has been playing hockey for years, and you can see it in her footwork.
And Bonnie Banshee able to hang on to that, coping along the inside of the corner. Gets through the pack, gets her points, and calls off the jam.
Bonnie Banshee, a very promising new skater in our league, blowing a lot of us away with her amazingness. And we've got some new jammers on the line ready to go. That's Gwen Coco for the Bombshells. Each team sending out some new jammers in this second half. Gwen Coco out there jamming for the Bombshells, and we've got Pretty Hurt Machine for the Scrappers.
Pretty Hurt Machine tiptoeing along the inside of the corner, able to emerge as your lead jammer for the Scrappers. Trying to fight her way through, Gwen Coco up to the high side, bumped up there by one of the defenders for the Scrappers, making her way through the pack on a scoring pass is Pretty Hurt Machine.
Gwen Coco being held by Cruisin' for a Bruisin' and Striker down, and Ivy Overdose, and Gwen Coco is able to get past with Pretty Hurt Machine doing a little hop, skip, and a jump over the coping there and calling the jam off.
Setting up to jam now for the Bombshells is going to be Skid Vicious, and jamming for the Schoolyard Scrappers is Ballistic Buffalo. Skid Vicious patiently approaching the pack. Ballistic Buffalo tries to find an opening along the outside. Not able to do so. Now Skid Vicious in a foot race to the front of the pack and manages to fake out. It looks like that was Dolly Spartan. Skid Vicious there, able to go up to the rail and then juke around her to the inside, and is your lead jammer for the Bombshells.
Hey, Bombshells fans, let's hear it for your captain, Skid Vicious, lead jammer for the Bombshells.
Skid Vicious up to the pack, gets back up off the infield and calls off the jam. Three more points on the board for the Bombshells.
And we've got Dirty Cari coming to the line to represent her Bombshells.
Jamming for the Schoolyard Scrappers is Cruisin' for a Bruisin'.
I was given some inside intel that there will be some new jammers out there for each team, and now we've got Cruisin' for a Bruisin' lead for the Scrappers. Cruisin', you will see holding it down on blocking most of the time, doesn't jam too terribly much, but here she is out there doing a great job, coming around to see if she can score some points, with Dirty Cari putting some pressure on her. And Dirty Cari is able to steal lead jam. We've now got our lead jammer for the Bombshells, Dirty Cari, coming back around the track while Cruisin' for a Bruisin' is still being held back by the Bombshells defense. Cruisin' for a Bruisin' makes it out. And Dirty Cari sneaks by on the inside, receives a hard hit. And she gets back on the track and calls that jam off. Great job, Dirty Cari, stealing that lead jam position.
Setting up now to jam for the Scrappers is going to be Dolly Spartan.
And that is Mickey Mental for the Bombshells.
I hear jammer down, and there goes Dolly Spartan. Looks like we do have a penalty assessed to Cruisin' for a Bruisin' there in the last jam, so Dolly Spartan's going to take a seat.
And this is going to be a power jam for the Bombshells with Mickey Mental skating for the Bombshells.
Ooh,
looks like we've got
to that, it's going to be a team timeout. Schoolyard Scrapper is going to call timeout. So we will take a break from the action. 9:25 to go until the end of the third quarter.
Sometimes you'll see teams take a timeout as an opportunity to catch their breath, get some time to think, reconsider their strategy. A lot of the time, if you're going into a power jam scenario, it can be a good choice to take that timeout so you can reorganize who you're going to send to the track, what would be the most strategic play. So we might be seeing that happening as each of the teams catch their breath for a moment here.
We'd like to let you know about an upcoming team fundraiser for one of our league teams, the Doomsday Valkyries. You may have heard of them. It is the Taco Lifts 2019, and it is Saturday, April 27th. It is at Boycott Bar, just north of Indian School on 7th Avenue. Starts at 6 p.m. We have tacos, vegetarian options. I think it was supposed to tell me how much the tacos are. It just says $sign tacos. How much? Is it literally dollar tacos?
It costs a taco. I don't know.
Well, okay.
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, whatever form of cash, currency, PayPal, pesos, yen, whatever you have, we'll accept it. So basically what we're hearing is April 27th, come support the Doomsday Valkyries, the greatest team in the whole world, by buying tacos. Awesome. Be there. See you there. Skid Vicious, captain for the Bombshells, skating this power jam for the Bombshells.
Skid Vicious trying to push her way through and manages to emerge from the pack during this Bombshells power jam. Bombshells looking to get some points on the board. The Schoolyard Scrappers defenders are united at the front of the pack, but now there's a tumble. One of the Scrappers defenders takes a spill. That's going to slow the pack down to a crawl. Skid Vicious trying to find an opening now. Trying to just push those defenders until they're pushed out of play. The pack now comes together. Big collision. One of the blockers takes a big fall. Skid Vicious able to outrun Nikki BadAzz down to the infield coping and able to get through there with 12 seconds to go here in this power jam. Skid Vicious looking for a couple more points, making her way back around. 5 seconds to go in the power jam.
You'll notice a successful accordion drill being run by the teams. That's where you have one team in front, one team in back, and they're sort of coming together and apart like an accordion. And it's a little difficult to explain, but it has to do with slowing the pack down so that your own team's jammer can get more points.
Stepping up to the jammer line now for the Schoolyard Scrappers. That's Felony Storm.
And number 6, Anakin Shittalker for the Bombshells. Anakin is able to find an opening on the low, but is taken out hard by Juicy Kill Tour, with Felony Storm out and lead for the Scrappers. Anakin, though, able to find a different opening, and she is coming on fast.
Felony Storm right along the inside. Those Schoolyard Scrappers blockers able to hold up the pack, and Felony Storm right through, picks up her points and calls off the jam.
We've got 2 of our skaters who are just in this game completing their rookie seasons. We've got Lieutenant Ripley for the Bombshells and Bonnie Banshee for the Scrappers. Some of our newer skaters, both very promising, both very dedicated, both very strong and aggressive and ready to go.
4 points on the board from the last jam gives the Scrappers an even 200 on the board with 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Bonnie Banshee trying to run to the front of the pack, and there she goes, out and clear.
Lieutenant Ripley receiving some hits to the infield and is being held behind the Scrappers' defensive wall. Bonnie Banshee manages to smash through an opening on the high there. Lieutenant Ripley with a clever move, looking as though she was going to stop and play some defense for the Bombshells, actually uses that to sneak by the pack.
And Bonnie Banshee goes ahead and calls it off after completing a scoring pass. 9 points on the board for the Schoolyard Scrappers and Bonnie Banshee, but Bonnie Banshee picking up a penalty. So that is going to possibly result in a power, yes? Yes.
Yes, no, yes, maybe, yes.
Sure, Anakin looking around. Anakin is out there by her lonesome, so indeed it is going to be a power jam for the Bombshells. But before we get to that, anytime the announcers hesitate and aren't quite sure what's happening with penalties, you can probably guess that there's going to be an official timeout. But no, it's a team timeout. It's a challenge. More so. Schoolyard Scrapper is going to go ahead and challenge something that went on there in the last jam, probably what led to the power jam in the first place.
That's exactly right, old Greg. The jammer, Bonnie Banshee for the Scrappers, picked up a back block penalty in that past jam. And a back block penalty is basically, you know, when you hit a blocker in the back, as long as that blocker didn't try to move into your way. If you hit them directly in the back and they fall down, then you will receive a back block penalty. So what's being discussed now is whether that actually was what the Scrappers are challenging is whether that was in fact a back block penalty, or maybe the hit was legal. Maybe she was hit in the shoulder rather than directly in the back. So we'll see what the refs saw. We'll see what they can decide on this.
We'd like to let you know about our March charity with the Arizona Derby Dames. Shoebox Ministries is our March charity of the month. They coordinate ongoing efforts for the collection and distribution of toiletry kits for people who need but cannot afford those items. Through their distribution network, Shoebox gives kits to individuals experiencing homelessness, domestic violence victims, abused and neglected children, the working poor, and to others in need. For more information on how you can help, please visit their website at shoeboxministry.org. And after review, penalty overturned. So the penalty that led to the power jam is overturned. We will not have a power jam moving forward.
So
Schoolyard Scrappers can serve their last timeout for winning the challenge.
successful challenge there by the Scrappers. So that means we are going to have a jammer from each team on the track.
So once again, it's Anakin Shittalker for the Bombshells, and now stepping out there to jam for the Schoolyard Scrappers is Pretty Hurt Machine. This jam is underway. Pretty Hurt Machine down along the inside, able to find an opening, and Pretty Hurt Machine is your lead jammer for the Scrappers.
Anakin Shittalker saw an open lane there, ran for it, and just at the last second was clipped by Maiden Asia. She has made it out past Asia and past Striker Down, though, and she is running. And Pretty Hurt Machine calls that jam off.
And it looks like we do have...
Looks like the Schoolyard Scrappers jammer picked up an arms penalty in that last jam.
We're going to get this one sorted out because at the moment we have no jammers. So that's going to be a boring jam.
No jam can begin
There we
without
go.
at least one jammer on the track. And we do have that sorted out now. We've got Skid Vicious coming to the
There
line
we
for the
go
Bombshells.
indeed. So Skid Vicious with the Bombshells power jam once we get it all sorted out. Bombshells on the power jam. Skid Vicious quickly to the front of the pack, doing battle with that front wall of defenders for the Schoolyard Scrappers, able to fight her way through. Two of those Scrappers defenders got tangled up and fell, and Skid Vicious takes advantage.
Skid Vicious is a powerful jammer, blocker, and not only does she teach her team, her newly growing team, how to do all of the derby things, she's also a teacher in real life. So that's pretty cool. And just as I say that, she's also able to break out from the Schoolyard Scrappers and come around for more points.
Yeah, I'd say the Bombshells are a team, definitely a lot of young rookies on the team kind of coming together, learning to skate together, and I think definitely a team to watch next season, especially as we go forward.
All of their rookies are so dedicated, and you can see all their hard work out there tonight.
Skid Vicious now up to the pack. Those Schoolyard Scrappers defenders together at the front of the pack. So that'll do it for the power jam. Bombshells put 5 points on the board, puts them up to 31 for the bout. Now jamming for the Schoolyard Scrappers, again, number 1984, Cruisin' for a Bruisin'. But before we get to that, it's a team timeout. Team timeout, Bombshells. So the Bombshells going to talk it over. Are you interested in being a part of the roller derby community, but hitting people just isn't your thing? Our regulators are always looking for dedicated and eager minds to learn our rule set and help keep our ladies on the track safe. Our regulator team accepts all gender types. There are various levels of officiating that go on during roller derby bouts, including both skating and non-skating roles. Come be a part of the action and help our league grow. Ask any skater or ref how to get involved.
Are you a young lady between the ages of 10 to 17 who loves to skate, or do you know one? Our Minor Assaults are a nonprofit 501c3 and are always looking for new skaters to join the team. Our coaches, who you have seen out there skating tonight, in fact, some pretty amazing people, they not only teach technique and knowledge of the sport, but they also help build leadership, teamwork, and problem-solving skills that will help in life situations far beyond roller derby. Minor skating skills, dedication to learn, and a positive mental attitude are all we require. Come see what all the fun is about, ask any Arizona Derby dame how to get involved, or visit our website, azddinspire.org, for information.
We are getting back to the action. 3.5 minutes to go until the end of the third quarter, and it's going to be a power jam for the Schoolyard Scrappers. Cruising for a Bruisin' out there all by her lonesome to do the power jam dance for the Schoolyard Scrappers.
Some effective offense being played by Bonnie Banshee, which allows Cruisin' for a Bruisin' to spring loose from that pack. We've got a pretty sparse pack out here tonight during this jam. Several skaters sitting penalties from the last jam.
And Cruisin' for a Bruisin' right through along the inside, coping on a scoring pass, coming around for her second scoring attempt. Schoolyard Scrappers really controlling the pace of play here during this power jam. They've got the numbers advantage out there. Obviously, no jammer for the Bombshells, and the Bombshells also have 2 blockers in the penalty box. So the Bombshells at a severe numbers disadvantage during this power jam. 15 seconds to go. Cruising for a Bruising coming around for another scoring pass.
Cruising for a Bruising, taking a tumble there in the back of the pack, but she's back on her skates. And finishing up that last scoring pass as the jam runs out of time. Anakin Shittalker on the line again for the Bombshells. And that is going to be Dolly Spartan for the Schoolyard Scrappers.
15-point power jam for Cruisin' for a Bruisin'. And Dolly Spartan on the jammer line for the Schoolyard Scrappers. There goes Anakin. Anakin blasting to the front of the pack and quickly out and clears the lead jammer. Dolly Spartan now shakes loose as well, and Dolly Spartan is going to take up the chase. Anakin now looking for an opening. Racing along the outside, now trying to outrun Ballistic Buffalo to the corner, and Ballistic Buffalo able to pin her in against the rails, so Anakin calls it off. Anakin gets the point, though. Anakin picks up 4 points on the power jam, so she was able to get her hip in front of Ballistic Buffalo there and gets that last point. On the jammer line for the Schoolyard Scrappers is Felony Storm.
Skid Vicious out there for the Bombshells.
Felony Storm along the inside, able to get sprung loose, and she's out, but goes ahead and calls it off. Didn't really have a head of steam built up, and Skid Vicious was starting to get underway.
Felony Storm noticing Skid behind her, calls off the jam while also giving a little curtsy and saying, go ahead. So that was some cute teamwork right there, some sportsmanship.
Stepping up to the jammer line for the Schoolyard Scrappers is Bob Vylan.
And Dirty Cari for the Bombshells. I think that's Bob Vylan's first time jamming for the Scrappers tonight.
It is Bob's first time jamming this evening. Another defensive blocking specialist getting to go out there and put the star on for the Scrappers. And Bob is out of the pack and is your lead jammer.
Dirty Cari able to make it out as well.
And Bob up into the pack, takes the tumble and slides off onto the infield just as Dirty Cari was approaching, and we have a lead change. Unfortunately, Bob was on the infield, couldn't call off the jam. So Dirty Cari now with the lead jammer status as Bob Vylan exits the front of the pack with 10 seconds left on the jam clock. Dirty Cari trying to finish this scoring pass now. Those defenders for the Scrappers say, would you prefer to go to the infield? And she says, not really, but they can be pretty convincing.
The Schoolyard Scrappers sure can be pretty convincing about going to the infield or the rail.
So that is going to take us up to our quarter break. 4 points for the Scrappers, 8 points for the Bombshells there. So your score right now is Scrappers 232, Bombshells 43. We got a 5-minute break. We will give away a couple of raffle prizes here right quick and step aside for a brief break before we give you our last quarter of action this evening.
Last I heard, there is still a final bag of popcorn available. It is $6 if you want to grab yourself the last bag of popcorn from the Minor Assaults. Quick, get on down there because it's all they got left for the night.
Oh, okay. The Minor Assaults just came up here and let us know it's a really big bag of popcorn. It's not just a normal size bag of popcorn that they're paying 6 times the price for. It's a really, really big bag of all the popcorn left for $6.
At the end of the night, we like to multiply our prices by,
Yes,
you
surge
know,
pricing. Concession surge pricing. Sorry, there's a lot of people buying popcorn right now. You're going to pay a 3.5x rate. All right. However, back to the serious things. We've got some prizes to give away. First thing is the winning prize for the person who gets to come over and do the punch out. One punch, the winning raffle ticket for the minor assaults raffle is 849-732. 849-732. Of course, if that person is not here, we will give them a call at the phone number they left for us as well. But they are the lucky winner of our raffle prize. Yeah, I figured they were still here. So, because the name's on here also. So we'll let them know that they were the winner. The lucky winner is, the lucky winner is Travis Chilton. So I imagine he'll get back to us. He's busy at the moment. He's the coach of the Scrappers. So, but anyway, he's the lucky winner of the punch-out contest. We will let him know after the bout. And then our raffle prize giveaway for our regular. Oh, wait. Look at that. It's a merchandise giveaway.
Who wants a T-shirt? Raise your voices, ladies and gentlemen.
Who wants a T-shirt from Xana Doom?
Or
Xana
Victoria
Doom.
Van Gore. Either way.
It's coming around now. The back straightaway. Let them hear it. Come on,
There's
fans.
no more shirt, but we're flying like a plane.
They're not tired. We're not. Thank you.
I love you, Xana.
All right. Anyway, raffle prize giveaway. Please get your raffle tickets ready. This is for the Arizona Airtime Certificate, which sounds really great. And that winning raffle prize is number 211862. 211862 is the winning ticket for the Arizona Airtime Certificate. Also, the 50-50 raffle is up to $500. Once again, that's $250 to the winner and $250 to benefit our national champion minor assaults in their quest to defend their title. So $500 for the 50-50 raffle.
And welcome back to the fourth quarter of our second game of the night in this doubleheader. We've got Mickey Mental jamming for the Bombshells in what looks to be a power jam to start off the fourth quarter. I'm hearing some loud cheers for Mickey Mental. Bombshells fans, let's hear it for our power jam. Woo, woo, woo.
Let's hear for the Bombshells fans in attendance indeed. Mickey Mental now trying to find her way along the outside rail. Looking for an opening now. That defensive wall, trying to outrun that last defender down to the inside, and is able to do so. Able to spin her way around and get to the coping before the defender. So now an active scorer, Mickey Mental, now going to try to catch the pack. Mickey Mental rammed into the railing right up here by Bonnie Banshee. Mickey Mental still trying to get through the pack. You saw Bonnie Banshee was pinned in behind that wall of defenders, and she was able to spin around them and get clear. 8 seconds to go in the power jam now. That is going to do it for the power jam. Mickey Mintle does pick up 3 points there on the power jam. So a couple points up on the board there for the Bombshells.
Looks like the Bombshells picked up several penalties during that past jam. The Scrappers are going to have a full lineup out there with the Bombshells only having, it looks like, 2 blockers out on the track there. So we do have a power jam trade-off with now a power jam for the Schoolyard Scrappers. That is being skated by Ballistic Buffalo. Pretty strong advantage here for the Scrappers, so we'll see if they can capitalize on that. Ballistic Buffalo hopping over her own teammate to make it out on the low side. We've got Dirty Cari fighting to get through the Schoolyard Scrappers blockers there to get back together with Impaler Swift so that they can block Ballistic Buffalo.
And Ballistic Buffalo able to tiptoe her way through the pack and makes it through and completes the scoring pass, coming around now with 30 seconds to go in the power jam.
Impaler Swift delivering a shoulder check to Ballistic Buffalo, but Ballistic Buffalo has plenty of momentum on her side, is able to continue skating on by and come back around looking for more points for the Scrappers. And one more scoring pass for Ballistic Buffalo before she decides that's enough and goes ahead and calls that jam off.
Hey fans, let's hear it if you're going to be here for the playoffs on April 20th. Let's hear a hoot and holler. Yeah, you know it. That's our next bout for the Arizona Derby names. Mark your calendars. Saturday, April 20th, 6 p.m. Your playoffs, a rematch of the Brides versus the Beauties from earlier this evening, followed by the Scrappers v. the Coffin Draggers.
We've got Skid Vicious coming to jam for the Bombshells and Cruisin' for a Bruisin' for the Schoolyard Scrappers. Slow start to this jam and a sudden explosion from Skid as she starts fighting her way through the front of the pack there. Held back by Maiden Asia, but then pushes her way through, and Skid Vicious is your lead jammer for the Bombshells. Cruisin' for a Bruisin' also makes her way out, and she is chasing Skid down.
Bombshells now push their wall into motion, trying to find an opening as Skid Vicious checking around behind herself and sees Cruisin' for a Bruisin' coming on and calls it off. No points for either side there. Stepping up to the jammer line for the Scrappers is Dolly Spartan.
And I believe that's Impaler Swift coming to the line for the first time tonight for the Bombshells.
Dolly Spartan along the inside of the track, able to zip right through and emerge as lead jammer for the Scrappers.
Your Bombshells co-captain, Impaler Swift, fighting her way, trying to get through Peek Atchu and Bob Vylan being held back, knocked to the infield by Peek Atchu.
Another big collision there, skater down towards, that was Dolly Spartan taking a tumble, but back up, now trying to fight her way through the pack and complete the scoring pass, and able to get through, and 24 seconds left on the jam clock. She'll come around for another pass. Impaler Swift bumped down to the infield.
Peek Atchu and Bob Vylan and Carla Dang really holding it down on the defense there for the Scrappers. Impaler Swift fighting and not able to find much purchase there. And she finally is able to push her way through. Ooh, right at the last second there, we see Impaler Swift deliver a hit to Dolly Spartan as Dolly Spartan tries to steal her jammer point. So we'll see if that attempt at getting that point was successful or not.
10 points up for the Scrappers. That is going to be Felony Storm for the Scrappers on the jammer line.
And Lieutenant Ripley for the Bombshells way back in the announcer booth. She has got some momentum and is coming on strong and fast. Felony Storm taking a tumble. We see Felony Storm deliver a hit to Lieutenant Ripley as she comes through, pushes her way through the pack, and she's out lead jammer for the Scrappers. Lieutenant Ripley taken to the infield by Maiden Asia as Felony Storm comes through, swoosh for another scoring pass. Lieutenant Ripley actually sending a hit back Felony Storm's direction, but unable to hold Storm back as Storm keeps on going, hoping to get more points here. Lieutenant Ripley struggling with the pack, but is able to finally make it past. And that's the end of the jam.
So moving forward to the next jam, it's going to be Bonnie Banshee for the Schoolyard Scrappers on the jammer line.
And Remy Ruckus for the Bombshells. Those two spent some time in fresh meat training together, and you can see that on the jammer line as they smile at each other. We like to see shows of good sportsmanship here in the league. And Bonnie Banshee sees that opening on the low, and she runs for it. And she is coming on fast while Remy Ruckus is being hit to the high by some of the Scrappers blockers, but she sees an open lane too, and she makes it out, running by with some speed as well. Bonnie Banshee being hit by some of the Bombshells blockers, but able to make it by, calling that jam off before Remy Ruckus can get any points.
Four points on the board for the Scrappers. We are halfway through this fourth quarter, and on the jammer line for the Scrappers is going to be Pretty Hurt Machine.
And Mickey Mental for the Bombshells.
And emerging from the front of the pack, there goes Pretty Hurt Machine, your lead jammer for the Schoolyard Scrappers. Up to the front of the pack comes Mickey Mental and able to get around Felony Storm, so Mickey Mental clears the pack. Pretty Hurt Machine aware of that and goes ahead and calls off the jam. Stepping up to the jammer line for the Schoolyard Scrappers is Ballistic Buffalo.
That's going to be Anakin Shittalker for the Bombshells.
And Anakin along the outside rail. Tiptoed her way through, but collides with that last blocker.
There's a lot of people falling down there, and Anakin manages to get by just as Ballistic Buffalo does. Ballistic Buffalo just ahead of her and calls it off.
So we will get ready for the next jam. That's going to be Cruisin' for a Bruisin' for the Schoolyard Scrappers.
And Skid Vicious for the Bombshells. Got a slow start to this jam. Each jammer eyeing the pack, trying to decide which is the best mode of escape. Cruisin' for a Bruisin' nearly by on the inside, but taken into the infield by Bitch Please. Skid Vicious almost out at the front of the pack. Bonnie Banshee knocking her to the infield there. But Lieutenant Ripley from the Bombshells comes through and takes Bonnie Banshee out in turn. We've got Cruisin' for a Bruisin' out lead for the Scrappers with Skid Vicious close on her tail, forcing the call off. Good show by both teams in that jam. We've got Anakin Shittalker jamming for the Bombshells.
Dolly Spartan is going to jam for the Scrappers here. Looks like we've got one blocker coming down for the Scrappers, so one skater advantage for the Bombshells here. Dolly Spartan trying to play some defense on Anakin, but Anakin able to outrun her to the front of the pack.
Anakin seeing an opening and having some effective offense played by Remy Ruckus, and she's out lead jammer. Dolly Spartan coming up close behind her, though. Anakin better put on that burst of speed, see if she can get some points. And unfortunately, Anakin being forced to call that off with Anakin's teammates in the back of the pack. It really was too dangerous. If Dolly Spartan had come on any faster, she may have been able to get some points, while Anakin may not have been able to get any. So very smart call off there by Anakin Shittalker.
I do have to say, Anakin just put a head fake on that defender that was so good it belongs in an and one mixtape.
Yeah, blew my mind too. Absolutely.
Run out of the gym. We are underway with the next jam. Felony Storm is jamming for the Scrappers.
And Mickey Mental for the Bombshells. Felony Storm able to break out of the pack. One of the strongest jammers for the Schoolyard Scrappers. She is coming on fast. Mickey Mental being stuck behind Striker Down, Pretty Hurt Machine, and Juicy Kill Tour. And taking a hard hit to the infield by Juicy Kill Tour.
Felony Storm kind of redirected up to the outside, but able to swing down and find an opening along the coping. Finishes up the scoring pass, and will be coming around for some more. Mickey Mental trying to find her way past those two defenders at the back of the pack. About a dozen seconds left to go on the jam clock. Felony Storm finishes up the scoring pass and goes ahead and calls off the jam.
We've got Gwen Coco for the Bombshells.
And it was going to be Bonnie Banshee, but that's all academic now. It's now a power jam for the Bombshells. So Gwen Coco out there all by her lonesome.
Gwen Coco with a little bit of hesitation there, not sure. Wait, is this a power jam? Yes, it is. So she is now out and ready to fight against those Scrappers blockers to try to make it through. Gwen Coco finally seeing some pathways being opened by her teammates there and following those, making it past some of the Scrappers blockers, while the other Scrappers blockers in the front do have to let her go as they are too far out of play, and Gwen Coco is out. And she is in a scoring position now, coming around to see if she can get some points for the Bombshells, while the Bombshells defenders are holding back one of the Scrappers blockers, so that hopefully will achieve at least 1 point there. And Gwen Coco trying to make it by, and she does make it by Nikki BadAzz and Carla Dang in the front there.
And the clock expires on the power jam. Gwen Coco. 5 points on the board for the Bombshells, pushes them up over 50 for the bout. Yeah, it's almost 10. Stepping up to the jammer line for the Scrappers is Pretty Hurt Machine.
And Remy Ruckus for the Bombshells.
And there goes Pretty Hurt Machine rocketing out of the pack as your lead jammer for the Scrappers.
Remy Ruckus taking a tumble near the high side there. Remy finding an opening, but being taken to the rail by Maiden Asia. As Pretty Hurt Machine comes around.
Pretty Hurt Machine finishing a scoring pass, and will be coming around for some more here. 10 seconds to go on the jam clock. The pack making their way into the far turn. Pretty Hurt Machine trying to catch up and finish another scoring pass before the clock expires. And she's able to do so, gets through and finishes it off as the clock expires on the jam. And so we will set up for what may be our last regulation jam. 15 points on the board for the Scrappers. It gives them exactly 3 bills, exactly 300 points for the Scrappers on the bout.
We've got Anakin coming out to jam for the Bombshells and Ballistic Buffalo for the Scrappers.
So we will see if the quarter clock expires during this jam or not.
Buffalo nearly out on the low side there, but Mickey Mental hitting her hard to the infield. Anakin Shittalker also still struggling in the pack, neither jammer out yet. Dolly Spartan sending Anakin Shittalker to the infield. Buffalo also being held back by that strong wall that has been built by the Bombshells. Strong defense, a strong hit there by Irish Car Bomb. And the Bombshells do have to let Ballistic Buffalo go.
So Ballistic Buffalo on our way around. Quarter clock has expired, so that will do it for regulation jams. We'll wait and see if this is going to do it for the game. Ballistic Buffalo makes her way on through the pack. And the jam clock will expire right there. So we'll wait and see now. We'll wait for the final score. It's okay. Streak, it didn't count. The quarter clock was expired. We'll wait for a review here and see if there's going to be any penalty jams. No penalty jam. That's going to do it with a signal from head referee Tabitha Christie. That is going to do it. Your winners tonight, Schoolyard Scrappers 305, Bombshells 51. And let's hear it for the Schoolyard Scrappers as they come on around to have prepared themselves for the playoffs. Scrappers going into the playoffs as the 3 seed. And they will face the Coffin Draggers on the 20th, Saturday, April 20th.
Hard-fought game by both teams. We're always happy to see each of our teams here at the Arizona Derby Dames fighting in